Hi guys, and welcome to Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails here in sunny, freezing cold central Queensland. We have some really serious Arctic winds from Antarctica blowing up the state, and it's pretty cold. So what I'm going to do for you today is I downloaded of Tammy Taylor's website and printed out on my printer this, and it's just to do practice beads and help get your consistency right and things like that. And I do agree with what Tammy says about practicing that, and it makes you quicker as a nail technician and really does help with your consistency. Now I've laminated this so I can take it off. So what I do to practice on this is I'm just taking the airbrush bubbles out of my brush. I'll wipe down halfway. I don't know, my hand's in the way. I just dab in and go like this. Now, because I know that I'm going to have a lot of runoff, because I have laminated this, I just take some of the excess fluid off my back of my brush, and I just wait and let it flow. So, and it's flowing now nicely. And it's staying within those lines, which I'm pretty stoked about. So I do practice this. I'm just playing, and I'm just trying to get it in within the brown circle so you guys can see more clearly. And I might zoom in. Oops, go this way a bit. I'm going to zoom in on the next ones I'm going to do, which will be over here, so you can see a lot clearer those two. So I'll do it again. Put my brush in. I'll go halfway down. I'm going to dip for a large ball. I am going to take some of my fluid off my brush just because I know that it's going to really run. And again, perfect consistency for a large dot. And I really do find this helps with consistency. If I was actually working on someone, I actually wouldn't be taking the fluid out of my brush. I just, like I said, I know that even though my brush was fairly dry for those two, as you can see, the monomer's still flowing a little bit. So I'm going to go for a medium ball. So then you go down a little bit further. I just place my brush in the powder to pick up a medium ball, and it's there. So I'll do another medium ball halfway down. Well, you can't see me doing the monomer. So brush in more than halfway down. You still can't see. Okay. Come out a little bit. So yeah, more than halfway down my brush, and only because, like I said, I do know, like I didn't take the excess out, and that will really flow everywhere. That one. And as you can see, this one is still really wet. The first two ones, I can even go back and manipulate them. It takes, on top of the laminate, the acrylic and the monomer, a lot longer to cure. Okay, so in saying that, you could just print it out and do it on the paper. I've laminated it, like I said, because I just pop these dots off and I reuse it. I reuse this, and so again, because I've experimented with it, I know that it does it, but it still does help me for my consistency in making my balls. Now I've just got my brush in. I'm going to wipe the whole way down this time because I'm making a small ball. Just get the rest of the liquid out, and I'm going to place my ball. Doesn't want to place, because like I said, my brush is a lot drier, but that ball's still wet, or bead. So I'll do it again, one last time, dab. I'm going to get rid of that. Now we actually were taught, this is how we were taught at college too, before we actually worked on people or nails, fake hands. Well, we didn't have fake hands those days. We used to, once we'd been ticked off on getting our little balls on paper, and they were all consistent and the same size, we were ticked off, and we could actually start practicing each other. So that's those. Now I will quickly show you these, and I'll do one in the reverse method and one in the normal. So what Tammy tells you to do is starting with your large ball on zone number 1. So I'm just going to put it there. I'm going to wipe off the acrylic off my brush, the monomer I should say, and I'm just going to move my acrylic around and shape my smile line. And when I am playing with stuff like this, at the end of the day, rather than wasting liquid on monomer, what I do is that from all my clients and everything, I have bottles marked that they're just practice bottles, and they're all monomer, and I just actually I save that monomer, I pour it into those bottles, and I actually use it for doing exactly this, so I'm not wasting my monomer. I know a lot of you guys over there get it really cheap from Sellies and stuff like that, but I've got to send down to Brisbane for mine. So my next ball is going to be a medium ball, and that goes in zone 2. So once it's finished flowing, I'm going to start feathering it out, making sure it's not flowing into the sidewalls. Yeah, so like I was saying, I've got to order stuff. I can't buy acrylic up here. I've actually got to order it from NSI, and it's coming from the Gold Coast. So, you know, it takes 3 days to get to me. So when I'm practicing and doing stuff like this, I just reuse that liquid. You know, it's cloudy, it's horrible, but I don't care, it's just for practice. So now my second last ball is a small one, so I go wipe my brush to suit, pick up my small bead. I treat that brown line on them as that's a cuticle, so I want my 1/8 of an inch away from the cuticle. And then my last ball is a medium ball. And that medium ball starts in between zone 2 and 3. And you brush, drag some of it up. And then some of it comes back, not flooding your cuticle. And that's the ball that creates your C curve. And that's also, that last ball gives you your strength. And I've always worked, what I tell people is, or my recommendation is, do what you're comfortable. If you can't do one big bead, then do two small beads. If you can do it all in one go, which I've seen people do, then do that. I don't think that that gives you a lot of strength, and I have heard from customers who come and see me that, you know, they're flat, they've got no shape, so it's really up to you. So to do the reverse method in practicing, what you would do is, I'll just wipe that, you take your large ball and start in zone 2, place it, make sure you keep your nice smile line, don't flood your side walls, make sure it's nice and flat around your cuticle area. So there's no lifting. And this is just a practice brush. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a second larger ball. Take off some of that liquid off my brush, and I'm going to place it here at zone 1. Let that flow. Now, when I haven't done acrylic for a while, which I haven't actually myself, a lot of my customers are gel and I wear gel, but I do get the odd acrylic. So when I have acrylic customer booked in, so my ball consistency and everything's good, I always will do some of these before they turn up myself. And like I said, Tammy Taylor says you should do 50 of these a day. So now I'm going for my last ball. So again, that one would be a medium size ball. Again, that would go in between zone 2 and 3 place. And this is your strength ball. Just to make sure it's patted down around the cuticle nicely. No flooding. So I always use a coloured acrylic when I'm using my practice sheet. Just so I can see it and see what my shapes are and what I've done. So you guys can see some of these balls won't actually be dry even now. I'll just put my lid powder on, but I'll get this first one I did up here. So that one's dry, the little disc. So, I mean, they're pretty useless. I mean, but you could use them in nail art, I guess, if you wanted to. So there's the other ones all done. So these ones here are dry. I can take them off. That one's not dry. I've put my finger on it and it's still wet. That one is. So yeah, as you can see, I can just lift these off. That one's not dry. But yeah, I just pop them off. And I bin these. So, but yeah, I think for everyone, especially if you're just doing nails at home for yourself, I think everyone should go. Like I said, you can buy these off her, and I believe she has them on a sheet of cardboard that's laminated, but it's not plasticky laminated like this, so you don't have the problem with I do with the acrylic running the way the monomer, because pretty much to do it first go, like even say to do a large ball, just for argument's sake, I have to dip my brush in. I have to totally take every ounce and drop on both sides of my brush of liquid out, put my brush in, and do it that way. And even that amount of liquid that was in my brush is now making that dot flow, and it's going outside the lines even still. So laminating, I'll show you, I'll zoom in, oops. So you can see that it's more light down there, so there's more light. You can see it is flowing outside those lines here and that, so but like I said, it really is good and very helpful in getting consistency and that, and I will show you how I relate all of this in my next video. But I hope this is helpful, and I hope that those of you who do acrylic, go and, like I said, she has these on her website. You can print them out, you can laminate them, you can just print out a couple and not, but it is really, really good to really get your consistency between your monomer and powder ratios and doing large, small and medium balls. It's awesome. So I will be back and I'll be using my hand, and I will do two nails, one reversed, one standard, just using the 4-ball technique. And until then, keep safe, and I'll talk to you all later.